My brother sent me a text saying he is getting married, and it turns out the bride is my first love. She has no idea who I am. Back then she thought I was poor and left me for a rich heir. I never imagined that years later she would end up with my brother. Looking at the photo and the message he sent me, I was about to respond and stop this wedding. Just at that moment, my first love wrote to me herself. Ethan Carter, I am getting married. The wedding will be in 3 days. I am marrying Daniel Carter, the second son of the Carter family in New York City. You have heard of them, right? The Carter Group is a Fortune 500 company, and their wealth could fill the entire city. Once I marry him, I will finally ascend to high society and cut ties completely with people like you, those poor nobodies from the bottom. From now on, we will not even belong to the same world. You will not see me again. Attending the wedding will be your last chance. If she had not sent me that message, I would have forgotten her contact long ago. I could not help but roll my eyes. I do not have time. I am not going. And tell me, do you really love money that much? Her answer came fast, sharp, and poisonous. Idiot, if I do not love money, do you expect me to love you? What else can you offer besides doing laundry, cooking, and handing me a miserable check every month? The only thing you did was send me $100 for Valentine's Day every now and then. What good is that? Can you give me a mansion in the Hamptons? Can you put me in a Ferrari? Can you buy me an Hermes Birkin bag? Why should I waste my life suffering with you? I prefer to follow a rich man. I must have been blind to fall in love with you once. You have to come to my wedding. I need you to see with your own eyes how far I have made it now, how happy I am without you. Only then will you understand how much you hurt me. That will be the only way I will feel avenged. You owe me. You have to come. Reading her torrent of messages, I smiled with contempt. All right, I will go as you wish. I sent a text to my executive assistant, Kevin Johnson. Book me a flight back to the United States in 2 days and have the limited edition Pagani shipped over. I want to drive it. As soon as I stepped out of the car in front of the hotel entrance, I attracted countless stares. Many of those watching were old acquaintances from college, people who witnessed what Sophia and I had back then. What the hell is that? I never saw that brand. It must be a cheap knockoff. Wait, isn't that Carter? That poor loser Sophia dumped in college. The car looks familiar, doesn't it? It must be one of those new Teslas that he modified, spending a fortune, always pretending to be rich. Sophia, look, your first love arrived, driving a piece of junk car. Did he really think we wouldn't recognize him? Sophia, dressed in a custom-made Vera Wang wedding dress, was at the entrance. Her eyes, filled with expectation, looked toward the Carter family mansion. Hearing the laughter, she turned around. The contempt in her gaze was impossible to hide. You really made an effort just to come to my wedding, huh? What a pity. Even if you modify a Tesla to the max, it is still trash. It just shows your inferiority complex, nothing more. Seeing you so pathetic now only confirms to me that I did right by leaving you. No matter how hard a sparrow tries, it can never become a phoenix. One of my former classmates burst out laughing. Ethan, don't you know? Sophia's fiancé gave her a Porsche as an engagement gift, limited edition, adorned with diamonds. If you like sports cars so much, why don't you kneel and beg her? Who knows, maybe her soft heart will take pity on you. Another one nudged him with his elbow. Hey, don't say that. A man's pride is worth more than gold. Seeing Ethan arrive in a tuned car is already entertainment enough. Otherwise, how would we see something so ridiculous? Incredible. I am 30 years old and I never saw someone so desperate to show off. I am going to take a picture to upload to Instagram. Since I left the country, the Carter Group under Daniel's management had plummeted. Its market value had fallen by billions. If it were not for my earnings overseas, sustaining them, my family would have disappeared from the New York map long ago. And yet they had the nerve to use my money to impress women. Sophia tucked a strand of hair behind her ear and smiled mockingly. Ethan, my husband, says he will get me a chauffeur after the wedding. If you are really so obsessed with cars, I can say something for you. You could be my driver. Consider it payment for everything you did in the past. I knew they were ignorant, but I did not expect such stupidity. I almost laughed but kept my face expressionless as I said, "This is not a modified car. It is a Pagani. It is worth $20 million. For a moment, silence reigned. Then general laughter broke out. Pagani, more like panini, you got the name mixed up. So much fast food fried your brain. Ethan Carter, wake up. You and Sophia Reed ended years ago. Are you still wasting so much effort on a car just to impress her? One of her Hermes bags is worth more than that scrap metal. Seeing her arrogant and satisfied look, I answered coldly, I have no interest in a woman obsessed with vanity, and I despise one who has gotten into the beds of 10 different sugar daddies. Only a blind family like the Carters could treat her like a treasure. Rotten roots, rotten branches. It is no wonder they are all blind. Since I am not welcome here, I will not attend the wedding. Goodbye. I turned around to leave, but Sophia lunged forward and slapped me hard. Bastard. What nonsense are you saying? Who had sugar daddies? You could not have me, and now you defame me. You went crazy with jealousy. You say you don't want me, but here you are driving a pathetic car just to show off. I wiped the blood from the corner of my mouth and let out a cold smile. What is wrong? Do you want me to tell everyone how you used to get into that Maybach that waited for you outside the university? The hotel records came directly to my phone. Did you really think I didn't know? I left you your dignity. The one who has no shame is you. Let me go or I will call security. Her composure cracked instantly. Her face turned red with fury. You are lying. Who got into a Maybach? You came just to ruin my wedding, didn't you? I must have been blind to have ever loved you. Get out. Leave right now. She raised her hand to hit me again. I lifted my phone. I still have the evidence. Try to hit me again and I assure you that this very night all the internet will know how colorful your past was. I turned toward my car, but Sophia grabbed my sleeve and pulled hard. Stop. What evidence? Tell me now, let me go. In the struggle a loud rip was heard. The wedding dress tore at the hem. Sophia's face deformed with rage. Ethan, I am going to kill you. This dress was a luxury design made to measure. It cost more than $1 million to bring from Europe. You are just trying to ruin everything for me. I raised my hands. You were the one who grabbed me first. It is not my problem, and $1 million. Get into a few more beds and you will recover it easily. Her eyes became bloodshot as she screamed at those present. What are you waiting for? Do you not see how this imbecile is humiliating me? Beat him, destroy his damn car. I want to see how he keeps showing off now. I ran in front of the Pagani, blocking it with my body. Touch it, and I swear that not even the entire Carter family could pay the price. Sophia lost her mind completely, screaming like a madwoman. It is just a broken Tesla. What are you bragging about? The Carter money could buy your miserable life 100 times over. Several of the former classmates stepped forward. Ethan, you lost your mind. That dress was chosen specially by Daniel Carter for Sophia. It was known poor men always bring trouble. You date one and he sticks to you like a leech. You never get rid of them. Ethan, you are just resentful. Sophia left you for a rich heir. You have no one to blame but your own uselessness. Now that you offended the Carter family, don't even dream of surviving in New York. Guys, we have to defend Sophia. Get him. I tried to break free, but 2 men lifted me from the ground, immobilizing me. One broke a bottle against the window of my car. Another dragged a brick along the paint, scratching without mercy. In the blink of an eye, my Pagani, one of only 10 in the world, became a pile of twisted metal. Anger made me shake from head to toe. Sophia, are you crazy? Do you have any idea what you are doing? This is a felony. Do you want to go to prison? She took off her heels and threw them at my face. The skin opened instantly, blood trickled down. A felony in New York. The Carter family is the law. You tried to seduce me again and failed, and now you are furious. But tell me, when my husband arrives, do you think they will arrest you or me? Ethan Carter, you were trash 5 years ago, and 5 years later you are still trash under my heel. You will never rise in this life. She looked at the others. Let him go. If he kneels right now and apologizes, maybe I will leave things in the past and offer him a position as a chauffeur. That way he can see me every day. If not, he will regret it. I spat out a little blood and laughed with contempt. Ask for an apology in your dreams, Sophia. I swear you will pay dearly for this day. I promise you. A loud slap resonated when she hit me again, even harder this time, pushing me to the edge of fury, while she continued ranting as if nothing happened. Just wait until my husband arrives. You will see who pays for real. This dress costs $2 million. If you don't pay every last cent, you won't leave here alive." If I hadn't sworn never to hit a woman, she wouldn't be able to speak anymore. I let out an icy laugh. "Fine, just let me go. 2 million, I will pay it. In fact, I will pay 10 times that." The crowd erupted in laughter. "Listen to him. He smells worse than athlete's foot. 10 times 10 times 2 million. Does he realize how much that is? And if it were in cash, it would bury him alive." "Sophia went crazy since you left him. He is nothing more than a delirious beggar now. What luck that you didn't marry him. Otherwise, how would you be enjoying the life you have now?" I took out my phone and recorded a voice message for my assistant. "Withdraw 200 million in cash. I don't know if it will be enough to bury me, but it sure is enough to bury them." Then I dialed 911. "Hello, police. I want to report a violent assault. There is a mob attacking me. The location is..." Before I could finish, Sophia snatched the phone from me and smashed it against the ground. "You dare to call the police? Call them. You will see. Grab him, beat him, until he can't stand up." A rain of fists fell on me. My face swelled so much it was unrecognizable. Finally, someone hesitated. "This doesn't look good, he is barely breathing." She waved her hand with indifference. "So what? If something happens, my husband will handle it." She called Daniel Carter, feigning panic in her voice. "Honey, my poor ex lost his mind. He came to the hotel to ruin the wedding. He even destroyed my dress. But don't worry, my classmates have it under control. They just hit him a little. You know I only love you, my love. Besides you, I will never marry anyone else. Please come quickly. I am so scared." She hung up. Then she looked at me with a cruel smile, pressing her bare foot against my head. "Ethan, you ruined my wedding and destroyed my dress. If you admit your fault now, I might even give you a discount on the compensation." I wiped the blood from my mouth and looked at Sophia with contempt as she continued pressing her bare foot against my head. The pain was unbearable, but what bothered me most was her smile of satisfaction. "Ethan, you ruined my wedding and destroyed my dress. If you admit your fault now, I might even give you a discount on the compensation." I tried to speak, but one of the men kicked me in the ribs. I heard the sound of cars approaching. Many cars. "It must be Daniel," said Sophia excitedly, taking her foot off my head. "Now you will see what true power is." But when she looked toward the entrance, her expression changed. It was not a car. It was 10 luxury vehicles. The first was a Rolls-Royce Phantom, followed by Mercedes-Benz S-Class and BMW 7 Series, all black, all with diplomatic plates. The doors opened simultaneously. Men in dark suits stepped out, forming a line. From the Rolls-Royce, Kevin Johnson, my executive assistant, stepped out with a tablet in his hand and a serious expression. "Mr. Carter," he said, approaching and helping me up. "I apologize for the delay." The traffic from JFK Airport was complicated. One of the bodyguards handed me a handkerchief. I wiped the blood while observing the confused faces of everyone. Sophia looked at me without understanding. "Kevin, what are you doing here?" she asked with a trembling voice. "I work for Mr. Carter," he answered without looking at her. "I have been his personal assistant for 5 years. Assistant to Ethan." Sophia laughed nervously. "Stop joking. Ethan is a nobody. You work for international companies." Kevin ignored her completely and addressed me. "Sir, do you wish for immediate medical attention, or do you prefer to resolve this first?" "First this," I answered. My voice sounded hoarse but firm. Sophia took a step toward me. "Ethan, what is happening? Why does Kevin call you sir?" "Because he is my boss," said Kevin simply. "The chairman of Carter International Group and majority shareholder of 15 corporations on 3 continents." The silence was absolute. Sophia looked at me as if she had just seen a ghost. The former classmates who had beaten me stepped back slowly. "That is impossible," whispered Sophia. You are poor. I saw you work in that restaurant. I saw you wear old clothes. You saw me work in my own restaurant." I corrected. "One of the 20 that I own, and the old clothes were designer. You simply do not know how to recognize them." Kevin tapped his tablet. "Do you wish me to proceed with the documents, sir?" I nodded. Kevin projected the screen onto the hotel wall using a portable projector. Corporate documents, property certificates, banking records appeared. Carter International Group, read Kevin aloud, founded 7 years ago by Ethan Carter. Current market value $50 billion. Subsidiaries include technology, real estate, hospitality, manufacturing, and media. Sophia shook her head. No, it cannot be real. Carter Group, your fiancé's company, continued Kevin. It is one of our smallest subsidiaries. It is worth approximately $500 million. Mr. Ethan Carter owns 70% of the shares. His brother Daniel Carter manages the daily operation, with a salary assigned by Mr. Carter. One of the former classmates dropped the broken bottle he was still holding. The glass shattered on the pavement. Kevin changed the image. Bank transfers appeared. In the last 3 years, Mr. Carter has transferred more than $200 million to Carter Group to keep it afloat. Every gift that Daniel Carter has given to you, Miss Reed, every dinner, every piece of jewelry, every car was paid for with Mr. Carter's money. Sophia fell to her knees. Her torn wedding dress spread around her like a white puddle. No, Daniel told me it was his money. He told me he built everything. Daniel Carter has not generated profits in 3 years, said Kevin without emotion. Every project he started failed. Every investment he made lost money. The only reason Carter Group did not go bankrupt is because Mr. Carter covered the losses. I looked at Sophia directly. The Porsche he gave you, I bought it. The diamond ring, I paid for it. This wedding, I financed it. Every time you dined in expensive restaurants with my brother, you were spending my money. Tears ran down her face, ruining her makeup. But you worked in that restaurant. I saw you wash dishes. I was supervising the operation, I explained. I do that in every one of my businesses. I like to know every aspect before making decisions. So when you asked me for money for your Hermes bag, I could have bought you the entire store. I finished, but I preferred to see how far you would go. And you went far, Sophia. Further than I imagined. Kevin spoke again. The Pagani you destroyed is worth $20 million. It was one of 10 in the world. Mr. Carter bought it 3 months ago, directly from the factory in Italy. The men who had scratched my car backed away until they hit the hotel wall. One of them began to cry. The total compensation for damages, continued Kevin, including the vehicle, physical injuries, and emotional damage, amounts to $30 million. I have orders to proceed legally against everyone involved. Sophia crawled toward me. Ethan, please. I didn't know. If I had known what? I interrupted her. You would have treated me differently. You would have respected me. That only proves who you really are, Sophia. You only value people for their money. Please give me another chance, she begged, grabbing my pants. I will break up with Daniel. I will be with you. I always loved you. I was just confused. I crouched down to be at her level. You had your chance. You wasted it. Now look at yourself kneeling in front of the man you despised, begging for crumbs. A red sports car entered the parking lot, making the tires screech. Daniel ran out, his suit wrinkled and his hair disheveled. He stopped dead when he saw the scene. Ethan, he said, confused. What are you doing here? Why is Kevin with you? Hello, Daniel, I answered calmly. You arrived just in time for your own humiliation. My brother looked at the luxury cars, the bodyguards, the projection on the wall. I don't understand what is happening. Your older brother decided to reveal himself, explained Kevin. Ethan Carter, chairman of Carter International Group and your real boss. Daniel laughed nervously. That is ridiculous. Ethan left the country years ago without money. I built Carter Group from scratch. You destroyed Carter Group from scratch. I corrected. Every month you received transfers from my account. You thought they came from phantom investors. They were mine. Kevin showed more documents. Mr. Daniel Carter, your annual salary of $500,000 comes directly from Mr. Ethan Carter's personal account. The $3 million you spent this year on personal entertainment were funds diverted illegally from the company. That constitutes corporate fraud. Daniel paled. That is not true. I have my own income. Your income last year was negative $2 million, said Kevin, showing a financial report. Every investment you made lost money. The real estate project in Queens, the tech investment in that failed startup, the shares you bought in that pharmaceutical company that went bankrupt, everything failed. My brother began to sweat. Those were calculation errors. Anyone can have bad luck. It was not bad luck, I explained. It was incompetence. I gave you opportunity after opportunity to prove your worth. You failed every time. The only thing you know how to do well is spend money that is not yours." Sophia remained on the ground looking at Daniel with horror. "You told me you were successful. You told me you built an empire. And you believed him," I said, looking at her. "Because you wanted to believe him. Because he gave you what you wanted." Without asking questions, Daniel approached aggressively. "You have no right to judge me. Dad left Carter Group to me, not to you. Dad left everything to me." I revealed. "To you, he left an administrative position with a fixed salary. I decided to let you play CEO while I was away. It was a mistake. Kevin projected our father's will." Daniel read it with his eyes widening. "No, this cannot be real. Mom said I was the heir." "Mom lied to protect your ego," I explained. "Dad knew you didn't have what it takes to handle the real business. That is why everything remained under my control with her as temporary administrator until my return." "Mom knew." Daniel was almost screaming now. "Everyone knew," I answered. "The lawyers, the accountants, the board of directors, everyone except you and your fiancé." Sophia stood up, wobbling. "Daniel, tell me this isn't true. Tell me you really have money." I am the CEO of Carter Group," he stuttered. "You are an employee," I corrected. "And now you are fired." Kevin tapped his tablet. "I just sent the official notification. Mr. Daniel Carter no longer has authority in Carter Group. His access to corporate accounts has been revoked. His office will be cleared out tomorrow." Daniel lunged at me, but the bodyguards stopped him. "You cannot do this. I spent years building that company. You spent years destroying it," I said coldly. "Now I will rebuild it myself." Sophia looked at Daniel with disgust. "All this time you lied to me. You made me think you were rich." "Technically he is rich," intervened Kevin. "He has a trust fund of $5 million that his father left him, but he already spent almost all of it in the last 3 years. $5 million. Sophia seemed about to faint. "That is it. Compared to your ex-boyfriend's $50 billion, it isn't much," noted Kevin. Sophia looked at me with pleading eyes. "Ethan, I made a terrible mistake. Please forgive me. We can start over." "I will forget everything that happened." "I won't forget anything," I answered. "You chose money over love. Now you have to live with that decision." Daniel continued, struggling with the bodyguards. "Sophia, tell him this is a mistake. Tell him you love me." She didn't even look at him. All her attention was on me. "Ethan, I always truly loved you. I was just scared of being poor, but now I understand that love is more important." "How convenient," I said with sarcasm. "You discover the value of love just when you discover the size of my bank account. It isn't like that," she insisted. "I really regret it." I pointed at Daniel. "Then stay with him. He has $5 million. It isn't as much as my $50 billion, but it proves you don't care about money, right?" Sophia opened her mouth, but no sound came out. "That is what I thought," I continued. "Kevin, proceed with the lawsuits. I want everyone involved prosecuted for assault, destruction of property, and any other applicable charge." "Yes, sir," answered Kevin, taking notes. The former classmates began to beg. "Ethan, please. We were just defending Sophia. We didn't know who you were." "Exactly," I said. "You didn't know who I was. And yet you beat me, destroyed my property, and humiliated me publicly. That demonstrates your true character." "We will lose everything," cried one of them. "Our jobs, our houses. You should have thought about that before." I answered without emotion. Kevin continued. "We will also proceed legally against the hotel for allowing the incident and against Miss Reed for incitement to violence and defamation." Sophia fell to her knees again. "You will destroy me." "No," I corrected. "You destroyed yourself. I will just ensure you face the consequences." Daniel finally stopped struggling. "Brother, please, we are family." "Family doesn't treat family the way you treated me," I answered. "For years you pretended I didn't exist. You used our family's money as if it were yours, and now you steal your brother's ex-girlfriend." "I didn't know she was your ex," he argued weakly. "Lie," I said. "Mom told you. She confirmed it herself when I asked why she allowed this." Daniel lowered his head, defeated. I looked at Sophia one last time. "5 years ago you left me because you thought I was poor. Today you destroyed my car and beat me because you still thought the same. You learned nothing. Please," she begged. "Give me a chance to show you I changed." "You already had your chance," I answered, turning toward the cars, "and you wasted it." Kevin opened the door of the Rolls-Royce for me. Before entering, I looked back. Sophia was on the ground crying. Daniel was motionless like a statue. The former classmates were hugging each other terrified. Kevin, I said, ensure the media covers everything. I want everyone in New York to know exactly what kind of person Sophia Reed is. I already did, sir, he answered, showing me his tablet. 3 major news networks and 5 internet portals. I smiled for the first time. Excellent work. I got into the car. Kevin closed the door, and the convoy began to move. Through the rear window, I saw Sophia running after us, screaming my name, but I didn't stop. This was only the first part of my revenge. The real destruction was just beginning. The Rolls-Royce stopped in front of the Carter Group building. It was a 50-story skyscraper in Midtown Manhattan. The golden letters shone under the afternoon Sunday, Mr. Carter, said Kevin as we got out. The board of directors is waiting for you in the conference room. I nodded. My ribs still hurt from the blows, but I couldn't show weakness. We entered the lobby. The employees looked at me confused. They didn't recognize me. The receptionist stood up. Excuse me, sir. Do you have an appointment? I don't need an appointment, I answered. I am the owner. She blinked. Mr. Daniel Carter is the CEO. Not anymore, said Kevin, showing her his tablet. Ethan Carter is the chairman of the board and majority shareholder. Mr. Daniel Carter was fired this morning. The receptionist paled. I am so sorry, Mr. Carter. I didn't know. No one knew. I answered. That was the point. We went up to the 50th floor in the private elevator. The doors opened directly into the conference room. 12 people were seated around a mahogany table. They stood up when I entered. Mr. Carter, said the oldest one. It is an honor to finally meet you in person. Sit down, I ordered. We have much to discuss. Kevin projected financial reports on the big screen. The numbers were red. Many red numbers. In the last 3 years, I began. This company lost $200 million. Can anyone explain to me how this happened? A man with glasses spoke. Mr. Carter. Mr. Daniel made decisions without consulting the board. He invested in high-risk projects. When we warned him, he said, "You approved everything." He lied. I said simply, "I never approved anything. I only transferred money to keep the company afloat." A woman raised her hand. He also spent corporate funds on personal expenses, travel dinners, expensive gifts. How much, I asked. $3 million this year, answered Kevin. $5 million last year. I slammed the table. $8 million in personal entertainment while the company was sinking. And no one did anything. The old man spoke again. We tried to stop him, Mr. Carter, but he said he was the CEO and that you backed him. From today, everything changes, I announced. I assume direct control of all operations. I want a full report on every project, every investment, every expense. If I find more irregularities, the people responsible will be fired. Yes, sir, they said in unison. Kevin, I continued. Cancel all projects started by Daniel. I want a complete audit. If something can be saved, we will review it. The rest gets closed. Kevin was writing quickly. What do we do with his personal contracts? All canceled. If there are penalties, we pay them. I prefer to lose money now than continue with his bad decisions. The woman from before asked, and what about the staff? Daniel hired many unnecessary people. Complete evaluation. I ordered. Those who work well stay. Those who are only here because of favoritism leave. I spent the next 4 hours reviewing every aspect of the business. Daniel had hired friends without experience for important positions. He had signed ruinous contracts with expensive suppliers. He had rejected profitable projects because they didn't seem prestigious enough. It is worse than I thought, I admitted when we finished. We can fix it, said Kevin, but it will take time. We have time, I answered, and now we have total control. My phone rang. It was my mother. I hesitated before answering. Ethan. Her voice sounded tense. Daniel called me crying. He says you fired him. That is correct. Why would you do that? He is your brother. He is an incompetent who almost destroyed Dad's company, I answered firmly, and a thief who stole $8 million in 3 years. Silence. Then she sighed. I know. I always knew. But he is my son. I am also your son. I reminded her, "But you let me leave without saying anything. You let everyone think I was a failure. Your father asked for it," she explained. "He wanted you to succeed on your own, without the Carter name chasing you." "Mission accomplished," I said. "I built an empire without his help." "I know, and I am proud, but Daniel is weak. He always was. He needs protection. Not anymore. It is time for him to grow up. Ethan, please, he is your younger brother. He is a 30-year-old adult." I corrected. "Let him face the consequences of his actions." I hung up before she could respond. Kevin looked at me. "Are you okay, sir?" "Yes." I lied. "Let's continue." That night, I settled into the main office. It was huge with floor-to-ceiling windows that showed the whole city. Daniel's desk was full of photos with Sophia. I threw them all in the trash. Kevin entered with more documents. "The lawsuits are filed. Sophia Reed, Daniel Carter, and the 6 men who attacked you. We also sued the hotel for negligence. How much are we asking? 30 million from Miss Reed and each aggressor, 10 million from the hotel, plus legal fees. Good. And the media." Kevin smiled. "The story is everywhere. Videos of the incident went viral. The hashtag Sophia Golddigger is trending." Sophia Golddigger. That is what they are calling her, the fortune hunter, who didn't recognize the richest man in the country. I watched the videos on my phone. Someone had filmed everything. My arrival in the Pagani, the confrontation, the beating, and then the revelation. The comments were brutal. She destroyed a $20 million car. What an idiot. She left a billionaire for a loser. She deserves to be on the streets. Perfect, I said, closing the phone. Let everyone know who she really is. Kevin hesitated. Sir, is there something else? Miss Reed is giving interviews. What does she say? That you deceived her, that you pretended to be poor to test her, and that now you are taking revenge because she rejected you. I laughed. No one will believe her. Some do. She has followers on social media. They say you are cruel for exposing her publicly. Let them think what they want, I answered. The facts speak for themselves. But Kevin was right. The following days, Sophia appeared everywhere, crying in interviews, telling her version of the story. She said I had manipulated her, that I was always rich but pretended to be poor to humiliate her. She is a liar, I told Kevin while we watched another interview. I know, sir, but she has support. There is an online petition asking you to drop the lawsuits. I won't drop anything. There is also, Daniel added Kevin. He gave a press conference. He says you fired him without cause, that you were always envious of him. That made me angry. Publish all the financial documents. I want everyone to see exactly how he destroyed the company, sir. That could damage Carter Group's reputation. The reputation is already damaged. I prefer the truth. Kevin published the documents that night. The media analyzed them for days. The losses, the theft, the incompetence, everything came to light. Public opinion changed quickly. Now Sophia and Daniel were the villains. Her interviews stopped airing. The petition disappeared. Mission accomplished, said Kevin. Not yet, I answered. This is just beginning. I looked out the window toward the illuminated city. Somewhere out there, Sophia was crying. Daniel was desperate. The men who beat me were terrified, but I didn't feel satisfaction yet. Not until they paid completely. 2 weeks later, Kevin scheduled a meeting with a new potential partner, an architecture firm that would design our next project. The owner is Isabella Moreno, explained Kevin. Graduated from MIT. Worked in London and Paris. Just returned to New York. Why her? I asked, reviewing her portfolio. She is the best. And she doesn't care about names, only the work. She arrived exactly on time. Tall dark hair tied back in a ponytail, impeccable gray suit. She extended her hand firmly. Mr. Carter, thank you for the opportunity. Miss Moreno, I answered. Kevin speaks highly of you. We sat down. Isabella opened her laptop and started the presentation without beating around the bush. No unnecessary small talk, just concrete ideas, real numbers, specific deadlines. This project will take 18 months, she said. It will cost 70 million, but will generate 200 million in 5 years. Are you sure about those numbers? I asked completely. I have market studies and financial projections. We spent 3 hours discussing every detail. Isabella knew her job. She didn't exaggerate, didn't promise the impossible, just gave facts. I like your proposal, I said. Finally, you have the contract. Excellent, she answered, packing her laptop. I will start tomorrow. She stood up to leave. Before reaching the door, she turned around. One question, Mr. Carter. Are you the same Ethan Carter from the viral videos? The question surprised me. Yes. Good. I just wanted to make sure. I don't work with people who lie about who they are. I never lied, I said defensively. I simply didn't brag. I know. I saw all the videos. Your ex-girlfriend is a fool. It came out before she could respond. Kevin laughed. I like her, he said. She is direct, too direct, I murmured. During the following weeks, Isabella came daily to the office. She brought blueprints, made changes, consulted with the team. She was professional, efficient, and completely indifferent to my money. One day during a working lunch, I asked her directly, "Why don't you act differently knowing who I am?" She chewed her food before answering, "Because money doesn't define people, character does. Most people don't think like that. Most people are superficial," she said, shrugging. I grew up poor. My father was a janitor, my mother cleaned houses. I worked 3 jobs to pay for college. I didn't know. I don't put it in my professional bio. It isn't relevant to my work. I remained silent. Isabella was different from anyone I had met in this world. Your ex-girlfriend is giving another interview, she commented, pointing at her phone. She says she is pregnant. I spit out my coffee. What? Isabella showed the article. The headline said, Sophia Reed pregnant with billionaire Ethan Carter's child. That is impossible, I said, furious. Never, we never. I know, said Isabella calmly. The timing doesn't match. You two broke up 5 years ago unless it is the longest pregnancy in history. I called Kevin immediately. Sophia is claiming she is pregnant by me. I already saw it, sir. Our lawyers prepared a response. We will demand a DNA test and sue her for defamation. Do it now. Isabella continued eating calmly. Don't worry, no one with half a brain believes her, but some will believe her. Let them, the truth always comes out. She was right. 2 days later, an investigative outlet published that Sophia had been seeing one of her ex-sugar daddies, a married man of 60. The baby was probably his. Sophia denied everything, but the damage was done. Now she was the woman who lied about pregnancies to trap millionaires. She is destroying herself alone, commented Isabella when she saw the news. Good, I answered. She deserves everything happening to her. Isabella looked at me seriously. Do you really believe that after what she did to me? Yes. Revenge won't make you happy, she said. It will only consume you. It isn't revenge. It is justice. Justice would be winning the lawsuits. This is public humiliation. Her words bothered me. You don't know what I went through. I saw the videos, she answered. They beat you, destroyed your car, humiliated you. You have a right to be angry. Then you understand. I understand the anger. I don't understand the hate. What is the difference? Anger is a reaction. Hate is a choice. I stood up. This conversation is over. Isabella packed her blueprints. As you wish, but think about this. While you continue hating her, she continues controlling your emotions. She left the office. Kevin entered shortly after. Everything okay, sir? Isabella talks too much, I murmured. She speaks with honesty, corrected Kevin. That is rare in our world. Maybe she was right, but I wasn't ready to forgive Sophia, not after everything. That night, while working late, I received a message from an unknown number. It was Sophia. Ethan, please, I need to talk to you. I beg you, just once. I deleted the message without responding. 5 minutes later, another message. I am outside your building. I won't leave until you talk to me. I looked out the window. Down there in the rain was Sophia without an umbrella, completely soaked. Kevin entered with documents. Sir, Miss Reed is downstairs. Security is asking if they should remove her. Leave her, I answered. If she wants to get wet, that is her problem. Kevin hesitated. Sir, she has been there for 2 hours. She could get sick. It is not my responsibility. There are reporters photographing her. Tomorrow they will say you are cruel. Let them say it. They already know who she really is. But an hour later, Isabella called. Ethan, there is a woman in the rain in front of your building. I know. And you aren't going to do anything. No, she is terrible. But you are being worse. Now you are her defender. I am a defender of basic decency. At least kick her out formally. Leaving her there is cowardly." She hung up before I could respond. Kevin looked at me. "Miss Moreno has a point." "Fine," I conceded finally. "Tell security to let her up." 5 minutes, not one more. Sophia entered, dripping water everywhere. Her makeup runny, her clothes clinging to her body. She looked miserable. "Thank you for seeing me," she said, trembling. "You have 5 minutes," I answered without offering her a towel. "Ethan, I am sorry for everything. I was an idiot. I was superficial and cruel, but please drop the lawsuits. I am going to lose everything." "You already lost everything when you betrayed me." "I am not pregnant," she admitted. "I lied because I was desperate, but now everyone hates me. They hated you before, only now they admit it. Please," she pleaded, falling to her knees. "I beg you. I will do whatever. There is nothing you can do. Go, Ethan. Your time is up. Security will escort you to the exit." 2 guards entered and lifted her. Sophia screamed while they dragged her. "Ethan, please. I loved you. I really loved you. You loved my money," I yelled back. "You never loved me." The door closed, her screams faded down the hall. Kevin appeared with a towel. "Do you feel better now, sir?" I looked at the wet carpet where Sophia had been kneeling. "No," I admitted. "I don't feel better." "Then maybe Miss Moreno is right." "About what?" "About revenge, not making you happy." I stayed looking at the city through the window. Kevin was right. Isabella was right, but I still couldn't stop. A month later, the lawsuits reached trial. Sophia didn't have money for a good lawyer. Daniel didn't either. The 6 men who beat me begged for out-of-court settlements. "Reject all deals," I told Kevin. "I want this to go to the end." The day of the trial, the court was full of reporters. Sophia arrived with a public defender who looked more nervous than her. Daniel came alone. The judge reviewed the evidence. Videos of the incident, medical reports of my injuries, appraisal of the destroyed Pagani financial records of Daniel. "Miss Reed," said the judge, "do you have anything to say in your defense?" Sophia stood up, trembling. "Your Honor, I made a mistake, but Mr. Carter provoked me. He came to ruin my wedding." "Ruin your wedding to Mr. Carter's brother?" asked the judge. "The brother who was using Mr. Carter's money." "I didn't know that, but I knew Mr. Carter was your ex-boyfriend." "Didn't it seem strange to marry his brother?" Sophia didn't answer. The judge continued. "The videos show you hit him first, that you ordered others to destroy his property, that you insulted him publicly." "I was angry," she murmured. "Anger does not justify violence," sentenced the judge. "I rule in favor of Mr. Carter. 30 million in damages." Sophia collapsed in her chair crying. Her lawyer tried to console her, but she pushed him away. The judge looked at Daniel. "Mr. Carter, the records show you stole 8 million from your own company. What do you have to say?" "It wasn't theft," argued Daniel. "I was the CEO. I had the right to use those funds for personal travel, for gifts to my fiancé, for luxury cars. They were representation expenses. They were personal expenses," corrected the judge, "and constitute embezzlement of corporate funds." He sentenced Daniel to 3 years of probation and full restitution of the 8 million. He also banned him from managing any company for 10 years. The 6 men received similar sentences: probation, restitution, and permanent criminal records. I left the court surrounded by reporters. Questions came from everywhere. "How do you feel, Mr. Carter?" "Satisfied that justice was done." "Do you think 30 million is too much?" "I think it is fair." "Will you forgive your brother?" "My brother must learn the consequences of his actions." That night Isabella called me. I saw the news. "You won." "Yes." "Do you feel better?" I stayed silent. The truth was, I didn't. Winning the trial made me feel nothing. "Ethan," continued Isabella, "can I invite you to dinner?" "Why?" "Because I think you need to talk to someone who isn't your assistant." I accepted. We met at a small restaurant far from downtown, nothing fancy or expensive. "Why here?" I asked. "Because the food is good and there are no photographers," answered Isabella. We ordered. We ate in silence for a while. "My father died 2 years ago," said Isabella suddenly. "Cancer. I was in London when it happened. I didn't arrive in time to say goodbye. I am sorry. I spent months hating myself for not having been there. I thought if I had returned sooner, if I had called more often, maybe it would have made a difference. And one day my mother told me something. She told me that hate wouldn't change anything, that my father wouldn't want me to live like that. Where are you going with this? That you are doing the same. You are consuming yourself in revenge when you could be building something better. I already built something better. My company is worth $50 billion. Your company, yes, but you are empty. Her words hit me. You don't know me enough to say that. I know the look of someone who won but feels like a loser. I stood up angry. This dinner was a mistake. Isabella didn't flinch. Sit down, Ethan. We haven't finished eating. I am not hungry. Then sit and listen. Something in her tone made me obey. Sophia was terrible, she said. Daniel was incompetent. They hurt you, but continuing to hate them only hurts you. Then what do you suggest? That I forgive them. I suggest you move on, stop chasing them and start living. I am already living. You are surviving. It is not the same. She paid the bill and left. I remained sitting alone, her words spinning in my head. 2 days later, Sophia appeared in the news again. She had attempted suicide. She was in the hospital. Kevin entered my office with the news. Sir, do you want us to send something? No. The press will ask what you think. Say I have no comment, but that night I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing the image of Sophia in that hospital bed. The next morning, Isabella entered my office without knocking. Let's go, she said. Where? To visit your ex-girlfriend. No, Ethan, she tried to kill herself because of you. It wasn't my fault, it was her own decisions. Then go and tell her to her face. Or are you a coward? No one had spoken to me like that in years. I stood up furious. I am not a coward. Then prove it. We went to the hospital. Sophia was in a private room. She looked horrible, pale, thin, with marks on her wrists. Ethan, she whispered when she saw me. You came. I didn't come to forgive you, I said immediately. I came to tell you something, whatever. You destroyed my trust, shattered my heart, humiliated me publicly. But this, I pointed at her wrists. This is not my responsibility. You chose your actions. Now face the consequences. I know, she cried. I know everything. I was terrible, but I cannot live knowing I lost the only man who really loved me. Then learn to live with that, I answered, because I already learned to live without you. I left the hospital. Isabella was waiting for me outside. Do you feel better? No, but I don't feel worse either. It is a start, she said. For the first time in weeks, I smiled. 3 months passed. Carter Group recovered completely. Isabella's projects were a success. The company generated profits again. Daniel got a job at a small company. He earned $50,000 a year. Nothing compared to his previous life, but it was honest. My mother called me once a week begging me to forgive him. I always answered the same. When he proves he changed, we will talk. Sophia left the hospital after 2 weeks. She moved to a cheap apartment in Queens, got a job as a receptionist earning minimum wage. The media lost interest in her. She was no longer news, just another person trying to survive. I should feel satisfied. But Isabella was right. The revenge didn't make me happy. Ethan said Isabella one day during a meeting. I need to talk to you about the project, not about us. Surprised me. Us. I have been working with you for 4 months. We have dinner together 3 times a week. You call me when you can't sleep. Really, you haven't realized? Realized what? That I like you, idiot. I stayed mute. Isabella laughed. You don't have to answer now. I just wanted you to know. She left the office, leaving me completely confused. Kevin entered shortly after. Miss Moreno left very happy. Good news. She told me she liked you. Kevin smiled. We all knew except you, sir. Everyone, the whole team is betting when you will start dating officially. That is inappropriate, but true, she likes you. I stopped to think. Isabella was intelligent, direct, honest, didn't care about my money, treated me like a normal person, challenged me, made me think. Yes, I admitted. I think so. Then do something about it. That night, I invited Isabella to dinner in an elegant restaurant this time. Wow, she said when she arrived. This is different. I thought you deserved something better than neighborhood food. Neighborhood food is better, but I accept. We dined. We talked about everything except work. I told her about my childhood, my relationship with my father, why I left the country. She told me about growing up poor, about working 3 jobs, about her dream of changing urban architecture. "Why did you return to New York?" I asked. "My mother is aging. I want to be close to her." "That is admirable." "It is the right thing," she said simply. At the end of dinner, I walked her to her car. "Ethan," she said before leaving, "I just want you to know something. I am not interested in your money. If tomorrow you lose everything, I would still feel the same." "How can I be sure?" "You can't. You simply have to trust." "The last time I trusted someone, she destroyed me." "Sophia wasn't me," she answered firmly. "And you aren't the same man you were 5 years ago." She was right. I had changed. I was stronger, smarter, more careful. "Give me a chance," said Isabella. "If it doesn't work, we remain partners without drama. And if it works, then you will be the luckiest man in New York." I laughed. "You are very sure of yourself." "I have to be. No one else will be for me." I kissed her. It was different from kissing Sophia. There was no desperation or insecurity, only certainty. "Then it is official," said Isabella, smiling. "The Billionaire and the Architect" sounds like a soap opera title. It sounds perfect. The following months were the best of my life. Isabella didn't change because of being with me. She remained direct, hardworking, independent. She didn't like expensive jewelry. She preferred work tools. She didn't want luxury cars. She had her old Honda and loved it. "It is practical," she said. "Why change it?" My mother finally met Isabella. At first she was cold, but Isabella won her over quickly. "Your son is stubborn," Isabella told my mother during dinner. "I know," answered my mother. "He takes after his father, but he has a good heart. He just needs to remember it sometimes." My mother smiled. It was the first time I saw her smile genuinely since I returned. "I like you," she told Isabella. "You are different from that other one." "Thank you," answered Isabella. "I like myself too." Even my mother laughed. One day, Daniel appeared in my office. He looked different, thinner, more serious, less arrogant. "Ethan," he said, "I just came to apologize. I don't expect you to forgive me. I just wanted you to know I understand what I did wrong." "What did you do wrong?" I asked. "Everything. I stole your money, stole your ex-girlfriend, treated you as if you didn't exist. I was a terrible brother." "Yes, you were. I know, and I am sorry." We stayed in silence. Then I sighed. "How is your job?" "Good. I don't earn much, but it is honest. I am learning." "Do you need anything?" "No, just wanted to apologize." He left. Kevin entered shortly after. "Will you forgive him, sir?" "Not yet, but maybe someday." "It is a start." Sophia also changed. I saw her once by chance in the supermarket. She looked tired but more real, without excessive makeup, without designer clothes. She saw me but didn't approach. She just nodded her head and kept walking. "Was that her?" asked Isabella, who was with me. "Yes, she looks different." Life changed her. "Do you feel anything?" "Pity." "Nothing else." Isabella took my hand. "Then you really got over her." "Thanks to you." "No thanks to yourself. I was just here." That night, while Isabella slept beside me, I thought about everything that had happened. The betrayal, the revenge, the trial, the recovery. I had won. But the real victory wasn't destroying Sophia or Daniel. The real victory was finding myself and finding someone who loved me for who I really was. A year later, Isabella and I got married. It was a small ceremony on a private estate, only close family and real friends. My mother cried throughout the ceremony. "Your father would be proud," she told me. Daniel came. I invited him because Isabella insisted. He stayed in the back without speaking much. Before leaving, he approached. "Congratulations, brother. She is perfect for you." "Thank you, Ethan." "About what happened, it is in the past." I interrupted him. "Let's move on." For the first time in years, we hugged. It didn't mean everything was forgiven, but it was a start. Carter Group became one of the most successful companies in the country. Isabella designed 10 buildings that changed the New York skyline. We worked together but kept our lives separate when necessary. "I don't want to be the boss's wife," she said. "I want to be Isabella Moreno, architect." "And you are," I responded. One day Kevin entered with news. "Sir, Miss Reed applied for a job at our subsidiary." It surprised me. "Sophia." Yes, for an administrative assistant position base salary. Does she know it is our company? Apparently not. She used her maiden name and omitted her recent history. Isabella was in the office. She heard everything. What are you going to do? She asked. I don't know. It is your decision, but remember, everyone deserves a second chance. I thought about everything Sophia had done to me, the betrayal, the humiliation, the violence. But I also thought about the tired woman I saw in the supermarket, someone who had clearly hit rock bottom. Hire her, I told Kevin. Are you sure, sir? Yes, but under strict conditions, monthly evaluations, one mistake, and she goes. Understood. Sophia started working 2 weeks later, not in my main office but in a subsidiary in Brooklyn. Probably she didn't know I was the owner. 6 months passed. Kevin gave me monthly reports. She works well, arrives early, leaves late, never complains. Does she know who her real boss is? I don't think so. She uses my name on all documents. One day I decided to visit that office without warning. I wanted to see with my own eyes. I arrived early. Sophia was at her desk reviewing documents. She looked professional focused, nothing like the superficial woman I knew. She saw me and stood up immediately. Her face paled. Mr. Carter, she said with a trembling voice. I didn't know you would come. Surprise inspection, I answered. How is the job going? Good. Very good. Did you know this was my company? She stayed quiet. Then she shook her head. No, until today. When I saw your name on the corporate documents, and you thought about resigning. Yes, but I need this job and I have worked hard. I think I deserve to stay. I looked at her intensely. You are right. You deserve to stay. If you keep working like this, I will let you. I promise you. Don't promise me. Promise yourself. I left the office. Isabella was waiting for me in the car. How was it? Different from what I expected. She is a different person she is trying to be. That is enough. 2 years later, Isabella and I had a daughter. We named her Emma. She was perfect. My mother came every day. Daniel also visited often. He brought modest but meaningful gifts. Can I hold her? He asked always shyly. Sure, you are her uncle. Seeing Daniel with Emma showed me something. People can change if they want. My brother wasn't the same arrogant man as before. One day I received a letter. It was from Sophia, handwritten. Ethan, I just want to thank you. Giving me this job changed my life. I learned that real value isn't in money but in effort. I don't expect your forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I finally understood everything. Thank you for the second chance, Sophia. I showed the letter to Isabella. What do you think? I think your revenge had an unexpected ending. You didn't destroy anyone. You helped them find themselves. It wasn't my intention, but it was the result. Sometimes justice is better than revenge. 5 years passed. Carter International Group now operated in 20 countries. Isabella won international awards for her designs. Emma started kindergarten. Daniel opened his own consultancy. It was small but successful. I helped him with the initial capital. He paid it all back in 2 years. I don't want to owe anything, he told me. I need to do it alone. I understand, Ethan. Thank you for not giving up on me. You are my brother. I will never give up on you. Sophia was promoted several times. Eventually, she became manager of her department. We never spoke personally again. It was better that way. One day, while playing with Emma in the park, I saw a young couple arguing. The woman was screaming at the man for not having enough money. It reminded me of Sophia and me years ago. Dad, said Emma. Why is that lady screaming? Because she doesn't understand what is important. What is important? Love, family, respect. Like you and Mommy. Exactly. Like Mommy and me. Isabella sat beside me. What are you thinking about? Everything that happened to get here. Do you regret anything? The revenge. I lost time hating when I could have been building. But you learned that is what is important. I looked at my family, my intelligent and strong wife, my beautiful and curious daughter, my successful and ethical company, my recovered brother. I had won, but not in the way I imagined. I didn't win by destroying my enemies. I won by building something better. I won by being a better person than they were to me. That was my true revenge, being happy while they remained trapped in their mistakes. Emma ran toward us laughing. I lifted her in my arms. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, Princess. Isabella hugged us both. "This is the life you deserved from the beginning," she said. "No," I corrected. "This is the life I built after everything." And finally, after years of pain and revenge, I found peace not in the destruction of others, but in the construction of my own happiness. That was the best victory of all.